Hello ladies, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I thought we could go over very beginner, very general, very basic dining etiquette. If you're new here, you may not know, my name is Nicole and I have been on a little bit of a level up journey this year, and I did take Anna Bay's program, Secrets of the Elite Women, and for me, that was my entry into the world of etiquette, the world of leveling up, and just being on a bit of a journey. I want to talk a little bit about dining etiquette today. This isn't going to be dining etiquette over a certain type of wine or a certain type of tea or a certain type of food. It's really going to be just the general basic things that I've learned. One of the things I'm enjoying the most on this journey is connecting with others that are on a journey themselves. And I think at the end of the day, the people that already have the etiquette nailed down pat, they're excelling at it, aren't the people that are going to be looking at videos like this. So for me, being able to come here and share this journey with you all, I'm finding that a lot of you are on the journey as well, and we're able to bounce ideas off of each other, grow with one another, and yeah, just kind of find a little community that values these things too. So if that sounds like you, I would love if you press the subscribe button and just join this little tiny, minute community. So as I mentioned, I'm not going to be going over into a certain type of etiquette for tea or a certain type of etiquette for wine. I am fully aware that this is a red wine glass, and you know, if I put white wine in it, that would be wrong. Equally, I've got a tiered tray here. I'm very aware that this isn't typical of what an English afternoon tea would be served with, but I mean, I did try to make finger sandwiches, but I didn't have everything on hand. But that's not the point that I'm trying to get across with this. I thought I could sit down and talk with you about some of these basic general dining etiquette rules, because a lot of us are going out to eat, a lot of us are going over to people's homes, or people are coming over to us, and that was this turning point for me on this journey. When I first went through the program, I didn't really enjoy the etiquette portion, but as the months have progressed, I've really noticed there are things that I have picked up on in learning little tips and tricks and little pieces of etiquette that I do feel serves me now in the real world. And I may not have all of it down pat. Of course, I know I don't have all of it down pat, but little by little, I'm implementing things one at a time. So let's get into how we should drink a cup of tea. All right, ladies, let's start with this cup of tea. I've just poured a very hot cup of tea. I've added in the milk. And as I mentioned, I'm not going to be going in to should you do the milk first, should you do the tea first. I did go on a tea workshop with Twinings, which I think is one of the oldest tea brands. And well, I will tell you this, I won't lie, I will tell you this. The milk used to be what goes first. And the reason for that is that the china couldn't take hot liquid. So they would put the cold milk in the cup first because the china would break. So there really isn't, it doesn't make a difference if you put the milk first or if you put the tea first. It's just that china used to break when hot substances were put inside of it. So with that being said, there's your little factoid with tea. But if you are sitting at a table like this, I've learned you wouldn't be holding the teacup and the saucer like this. You would only hold the teacup and the saucer if you were standing. So maybe you were at a baby shower, maybe you're at an event, maybe, picture it. You're watching Downton Abbey and maybe they're in their drawing room and they're stood up and they've got the teacup and the saucer in their hand. That's when you would hold the plate, the saucer. If you were just sat at a table like this, you wouldn't hold the saucer, you would just hold the cup. I'm actually gonna flip this around. I can't remember if there is even a proper way. I think it's just your dominant hand. But if you were going to pick up the teacup and go like this with your pinky, that is not the way to do it. That's actually quite tacky, apparently, according to the rules. Ladies, I hope you don't mind. The sun is doing all crazy things today, so I I hope you're not minding the light changing every 5 seconds. But anyway, I digress. So if you're wanting to hold a teacup properly, you would just take your fingers like this, the 3 fingers like this, and then you would grab the cup, hopefully you can see, like this. Now the next thing that I've learned with cups of tea is you would just bring it up to your mouth and then sip. You're not like tipping your head all the way back or anything like that. You're bringing it right up to your mouth and then tip. Now the next thing that I have learned in regards to tea, and here's the thing, I can feel this pinky wanting to just let loose, but I think that the reason why people's pinkies tend to want to do that is that you can grab the cup with your three fingers, but there's no space really for that pinky finger, right? So if you're not intentionally making your pinky finger hang out here, you're going to want to raise it. And I do think it takes a conscious effort, but apparently it's a proper way of doing it. And I am trying to implement it, and I do go for afternoon tea quite often, so I like putting it into practice. Now, the next thing that we should talk about is how to stir. So there shouldn't be anything where, you know, people will look at you and be like, oh my goodness, how unrefined. It shouldn't be causing that much of a commotion, but I do feel like once you know how to do these things, you will notice when other people are doing it, and then the people who are doing it correctly, it does make you think, you and I have some common interests. And that's at least what I'm noticing. When I notice certain people do things in a certain way, it gives me a unwritten, unsaid communication with this person that I'm like, oh, we think quite similarly on this. So this is how you stir a cup of tea. So basically you would just, instead of going around in circles, you'll just go from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock and 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Hopefully you know what I mean when I say 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock. If you were looking at a clock, the 12 would be at the top and the 6 would be at the bottom. So you would just go back and forth like that, and you wouldn't hear clinking like that. Then you would just put your spoon, your teaspoon, on the end of the saucer like this, and then drink. Easy, right? Let's move on to the wine. All right, ladies, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed drinking a cup of tea with me and learning a few etiquette tips and tricks so you can drink the tea properly and implement those tips and tricks properly. I know I'm enjoying learning a little bit more about dining etiquette. If you enjoyed this video, you will want to subscribe so you can see the next video where I show you how you can drink wine properly. There's a few tips and tricks. I'm sure you know them already, but if you were a beginner once upon a time too, like I still am, then you may enjoy the next video, and I would be so honored if you subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye-bye.